Hi, welcome to Robot Culture. I'm your host, Kevin Isley. Today we're going to talk about Par Normal Studio. Par Normal Studio is the brainchild of Danish fashion designer Karl Oskar Olsen. Karl started his fashion career after graduating the Royal Danish Academy of Fine Art in 2002. He co-founded the fashion brand Woodwood with his business partner Brian Jensen in 2002. Woodwood started out as a t-shirt company dedicated and inspired by the lifestyle and culture of skateboarding and graffiti. Their big break came in 2006 when they collaborated with shoemaker Adidas. And they've done over 70 collaborations in the last 10 years. Karl is a big cycling fan and quite the keen cyclist himself. So in 2014, Woodwood launched a t-shirt that said Par Normal printed right on the front. This was a shot at Lance Armstrong and an ode to cycling, which is a sport he truly loves. For those who don't know, Par Normal is French for not normal, and it was usually used as a shot against Lance Armstrong because his cycling was not normal, which kind of meant doping. When Karl and his friend Peter Madsen were planning to do the famous La Marmont, which is a really amazing bike ride. It's one of the original cyclosportifs where you ride up some of the greatest climbs in France. And they were thinking, hey, nothing really is working for me in the cycling industry. Why don't we just create our own kit? Something that speaks to me. And if I'm a fashion designer, I'm probably going to create my own kit too. Because everything at that time was either a reference to the old school of cycling, very retro, or it was extremely technical. But there was nothing on the market that spoke to a fashion sense that had technical ability. It was on the famed climb of Alpe d'Huez that Peter and Karl realized they might have a business because all the other cyclists were asking them, where can I buy your kit? This looks awesome. I want to have it myself. In 2015, Karl Oskar Olsen co-founded Par Normal Studio with Peter Madsen, Tommy Pedersen, and Brian Nygaard. Karl suggested Par Normal, not as a reference to Lance, not as a reference to doping, but rather as they see themselves in the cycling apparel industry. Not normal, less ordinary, and studios was added to show their dedication to creativity and design. In their first season, they put TKO on all of their kits. TKO is Karl's actual birth initials. I don't know what TKO actually means. I think T might mean Thomas, but KO obviously is Karl Olsen. In their second season, they put Road to Nowhere on their kits, and this is a shout out to Talking Heads song Road to Nowhere. And as a fashion designer who is dedicated to the street, who is inspired by graffiti, who is inspired by skateboarding, Talking Heads, rock and roll, alt music obviously speaks very well. And it was in this collection that Karl collaborated with Danish filmmaker and poet Jørgen Leth. Jørgen Leth is best known for his 1976 documentary, A Sunday in Hell, which documents the Paris-Roubaix race of 1976. This was considered one of the best races of all time in cycling, with Eddie Merckx not winning it. And this film is considered one of the best films in cycling. If you haven't seen it, you have to see it. Together, they collaborated and created some accessories imprinted with a poem from Mr. Leth about cycling. The Road to Nowhere, I think, is one of the best cycling kits ever made. It is a collaboration between Jørgen Leth and his poetry and amazing textiles, and really, I think where cycling is headed. We now have fashion designers making really good apparel with a true fashion sense. And I like where this is going, and I really want P&S to succeed. I first heard about Par Normal Studios through Instagram. I started following this photographer named Ron Olafson, who was taking really beautiful pictures. And I noticed that all of the kits said P&S or Road to Nowhere, and I started looking into the brand. And when I went to Bergen for the 2017 UCI World Championships, I went on a bike ride with them, and I'll link that video below. But what I realized is these people are really cool, and they're really fun. And I talked a lot with Patrick Andreessen, who's a designer for Par Normal Studios, and he just enlightened me on the things that they're doing, how they see the future of cycling, the textiles they're using, and the innovative ways that they're trying to change the industry. It is, I think, an amazing company, and it's one that I really hope can weather the test of time. I hope they don't go the way of Rafa. I hope they don't go the way of Castelli. I hope they stick with their path, and from what Patrick told me, 2018 is going to be an amazing year of collaboration and trying out new textiles. So if you're really into this brand or you never heard of them, you should check them out. With muted tones and Scandinavian simplicity, this is a fashion brand that is going to move cycling into the future. I really think a road to nowhere is going to lead this company somewhere in cycling. I think they're going to grow, I think they're going to get bigger, and I think we need more companies like this in cycling because cycling is such a dynamic sport and all of us do like fashion. Well, I think that just about covers it. Parnimal Studios, a fashion designer, takes his talents into cycling and changes the game. If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. And until the next time, I hope to see you out there on the road.